Welcome to Official Story Time with Miss Anna. Today we're going to be reading Understanding Anxiety by Holly Duhigg. Anxiety is a word we use to describe the feelings of fear and worry that we all experience from time to time. For example, many of us feel anxious before performing on stage or taking a test. Our thoughts might race and we might feel like there are knots in our stomach. These feelings are completely normal. They can sometimes even be helpful because they let us know that what we are doing is important to us. Being anxious before a big sports match can help give you the energy you need to perform at your best. However, when feelings of worry stop us from doing things we like to do, or when they affect us all the time, even when nothing scary is happening, it is considered to be a mental health condition. A mental health condition is a condition that affects the brain, our thoughts, and our feelings. Both children and adults can have mental health conditions like anxiety. Often, mental health conditions are diagnosed by a doctor or therapist. What does anxiety feel like? Anxiety is an emotion, so it mainly affects your mood. It can feel like there are too many worrying ideas in your head at once. It can be distracting listening to all these different worries, making it difficult to concentrate on things like schoolwork or even fun things like playing games and reading books. It might feel very busy inside your head, like a computer that has too many programs running. Although anxiety starts in your brain, it can affect the rest of your body in many ways. Think back to a time where you felt scared. You might have had a racing heart, shaky legs, or a stomach ache. Maybe you felt very hot and short of breath. You might even have felt like crying or screaming. These are all symptoms of anxiety that happens in our bodies. They are nothing to worry about and will go away once you feel calm again. Anxiety and the body. These physical symptoms of anxiety can cause us to worry even more because they make us believe there's something wrong with us or that we are ill. It is important to remember that as uncomfortable and scary as these symptoms can be, they can hurt you and they will go away when you feel calm again. Some of the symptoms are blurred vision, difficulty swallowing, quick breathing, feeling sick, sweating, headaches, side muscles, racing heart or palpitations, stomach ache, sweaty hands, and jelly legs. Dealing with anxiety is difficult, but it can be easier when you understand what is happening inside your brain. The emotion of worry and fear begin in your amygdala, which are two almond-shaped parts of the brain that are responsible for warning you about danger. They are part of the limbic system, in the system in the brain that deals with our emotions. The amygdala tells the hypothalamus, another part of the brain, to react to worry and stress. It is the job of your hypothalamus to begin something called a fight. The fight freezes response in your body. It is a full body response that gives you the energy to either face your fears, flight, or run away from them. The third response, freeze, can happen when we feel so overwhelmed that we feel like we can't move or are stuck. It is the job of your hypothalamus to begin something called the flight, freeze response in your body. Scientists think humans have developed this response to fear because our ancestors needed to fight and run away from predators like saber-toothed tigers. The freeze response may have even helped them to play dead by staying still long enough that a predator wouldn't notice them. This fight, flight, freeze response affects our body in many ways. It is the cause of the symptoms of anxiety listed on page 8. An adrenaline rush gives some parts of the body, such as the heart, lungs, and muscles, the energy they need to work harder. This is helpful if you need to run away from something. However, because it is such a powerful hormone, adrenaline can cause some unhelpful side effects when it floods the body. Exercise helps many people with anxiety to feel better. This is because it uses of the energy that an adrenaline rush causes. Nervous habits such as nail biting, tapping, or jiggling your legs are also ways that your body tries to get rid of extra energy. If you don't need to run away from anything, fast-paced breathing can cause you to take in too much air. This is called hyperventilation and can cause you to feel dizzy and faint. Your adrenal glands also release a hormone called cortisol. Cortisol can affect your digestive system. It makes your stomach produce acid to help break up your food. However, too much stomach acid when you don't need it can make you feel sick or make you need to go to the bathroom more than usual. Panic attacks. The fight, flight, freeze response is very important for keeping us safe from danger. For example, if you accidentally stepped into a road in front of a car, you will need to fast response in order to get out of the way quickly. However, for people with anxiety disorders, this response might happen when it is not needed, which can feel very frightening. This is called a panic attack. If you are experiencing a panic attack, you might feel as if you're going to have a heart attack, feel as if you're going to die, feel as if you can't control your body, feel like shouting or crying. Panic attacks are feelings of intense anxiety that come on suddenly and feel very overwhelming. They can be very frightening, but they cannot hurt you, and not everyone who experiences anxiety will have panic attacks. They usually only last for about 10 to 20 minutes. The symptoms of a panic attack are very similar to the symptoms listed on page 8. However, they tend to be more intense, and the person experiencing them will often worry that these symptoms are a sign that they are seriously ill or dying. In fact, panic attacks might feel scary, but they are harmless. You can't get ill or die from having a panic attack. Panic attacks can happen when you are already anxious about something. For instance, if being in crowded places frightens you, then busy shopping malls might be a trigger for a panic attack. However, panic attacks can also happen without warning, and people sometimes experience them when they are at home relaxing. For some people, the experience of having a panic attack leaves them scared that they will have another one. Because of this, they might avoid the situation they were in when they had the panic attack. For example, if someone had a panic attack during gym class at school, they might not want to join in gym activities anymore. It is important to remember that it isn't always the place you were in or the activity you were doing that caused the panic attack. Instead, panic attacks often happen because of a buildup of anxiety. Calming down, sensory grounding. You can think of panic attacks like fire drills. Sometimes fire alarms need to be tested to make sure they are still working. In the same way, the body needs to test our fight, flight, freeze responses. These tests tend to happen more often for people with anxiety. Luckily, there are many ways to calm down from a panic attack. Sensory grounding is just one of these ways. Sensory grounding is all about using your senses to become aware of your surroundings and feel more calm. Sensory grounding method. Number 1, start by taking slow, deep breath. Breathe in for the count of 4 and out for 6. Look around you. Can you list 5 things that you can see? Can you see people around you? What color is the floor? Number 3, listen up. What are 4 things you can hear? It might be people talking or cars driving outside. Number 4, pay attention to your body. What can you feel? Perhaps you can feel your clothes on your skin. Where are you sitting? Can you feel the furniture underneath you? Case study Ranjit. My name is Ranjit and I have anxiety. Sometimes it feels like I'm scared of everything. I get scared of answering questions in class in case I get them wrong. And I get scared of school assemblies because they make me feel trapped. My biggest fear is being away from home. What if something awful happened to my mom and dad while I was at school? I want to have fun and concentrate on my work, but these worries just won't leave me alone. It's even worse when we go on school trips. Everyone in class loves them, but I hate them. I can't stand being so far from home. Our last school trip was to a farm. There was a lamb there whose mom was very sick, and it made me think of my own mom. I started to cry, and suddenly I felt like I couldn't breathe, and my heart was beating too quickly. It made me feel like I was going to faint. Luckily, my teacher let me use her phone to call my mom. Mom took me to see my doctor once I was home because I thought I was sick, but she told me it was a panic attack. I started seeing a therapist who said I have generalized anxiety disorder. I now go to see him once a week and he gives me lots of methods to use when I need to calm down. Relaxation techniques. Relaxation techniques are methods that anyone can use to calm down when they feel anxious. One of these techniques is called progressive muscle relaxation. This is where you relax the different muscles in your body, one at a time. Here's how to do it. Step 1. Starting with your feet, squeeze the muscles in your toes as you inhale, breathe in, and relax them when you exhale, breathe out. Try to breathe in for a count of 4 and out for a count of 6. If you relax your body, your mind will follow. Buddhists believe that taking time to relax and focus on your breathing can help you clear your mind of worrying thoughts. This is called meditation. Step 2. Using this method, work your way up your body, tensing and relaxing each different muscle as you go. After your toes, you can move on to your legs, hips, stomach, shoulders, arms, and hands. Lastly, crunch up your face as tight as you can for a count of 4 and then relax it. We hold a lot of tension in our jaws because we use them all the time for things like eating and talking. Relaxing your jaw can stop you from getting headaches. Different fears. There are 2 types of fears: rational fears and irrational fears. Rational fears are about things that are likely to happen and are in your control. For example, you might worry about forgetting your lines in an upcoming school play. It makes sense to worry about this at least a little bit, as it will motivate you to practice your lines so you remember them on the night. Irrational fears are about things that are less likely to happen and are out of your control. For example, some people are scared of dogs. It makes sense to be scared of angry snarling dog. This will hurt you, so your fear tells you to stay away and keep you safe. This could hurt you, so your fear tells you to stay away and keeps you safe. But an irrational fear will be being afraid of a very friendly dog on a leash. That dog isn't scary, but if you are very frightened anyway, this is an irrational fear. Irrational fears are often about things that are unlikely to hurt you. Being scared of one thing in particular is also called having a phobia. Listening to each other can help us understand different kinds of fears. Everybody has a mixture of both types of fears, but people with anxiety are more likely to have irrational fears or phobias. However, people with anxiety can also worry excessively about rational fears. Everybody has different fears, and everyone's fears are important. No matter how someone's fear sounds to you, it is very real and frightening to them. We should always try to be understanding and treat everyone's rational and irrational fears equally. Study Karina. My name is Karina, and I have lots of fears about lots of different things. When we learned about volcanoes at school, I got nightmares. When I saw on the news that a tornado had happened somewhere far away, I worried about that. Sometimes I feel like I can't talk about my fears in case people think I'm being silly and overreacting. Once we had a lesson all about the heart and how it pumps our blood around our body. Our teacher told us that it's important to be healthy so we don't get heart disease. When we're older, this made me worry a lot. It sounded like a horrible thing to have. One day, I got very anxious in class and my heart started beating very fast. This made me worry even more. What if there was something wrong with it? I knew I wasn't allowed to leave the classroom without permission, but I ran out anyway because I was so frightened. At first, my teacher thought I was misbehaving, but after I told her why I left the room, she was very understanding. She told me that my fears aren't silly and that I can always talk to her about them. She also gave me a little blue card with the words "time out" on it. If I give it to her when I feel panicky, she will take me to the school nurse who can help me calm down. Putting your thoughts into words. Because we are not all scared of the same things, it can be hard for people to know you are feeling anxious unless you tell them. Physical illness like chickenpox have visible symptoms like spots or a rash. Mental health conditions like anxiety often have no visible signs that suggest you are ill. Talking about our mental health is just as important as talking about our physical health. After all, the brain is very important part of the body. Talking about how we are feeling can do amazing things for our mental health. Talking to someone. There are lots of people you can talk to about mental health problems like anxiety. You can talk to someone close to you, like a caregiver, family member, or friend, or someone whose job is to help you, such as a teacher, doctor, or counselor. Anxiety can make you feel like you are alone and that nobody else worries about the things you do. But that's not true. No matter how strange, embarrassing, or complicated you think your worries are, it is always better to share them with someone else so they can help you feel better. That was the end of the book. These are glossary vocabulary words that we can look at. Ancestors, persons from whom one is descended, for example, a great grandparent. Buddhists, people who follow the philosophy of Buddhism. Excessively, to an amount that is more than what is wanted or needed. Glands, organs in the body which produce chemical substances for the body to use or get rid of. Heart attack, damage caused to the heart due to loss of blood supply. Heart disease, any disease which affects the health of the heart. Hormone, a chemical in your body that tells cells what to do. Palpitations, noticeable, rapid, strong, or irregular heartbeats. Physical, relating to the body. Predators, animals that hunt other animals for food. Stress, a state of mental or emotional tension. Symptoms, things that happen in the body suggesting that there is a disease or disorder. Therapist, a person who is specially trained to treat mental health conditions. Trigger, something that causes or sets off anxiety. Visible, able to be seen. And that was the end of the book. I'll see you next time. Bye.